I was having like a terrible week like a couple weeks ago. And it was just like one of those weeks. I don't know if you've ever had one of those weeks where like everything is going wrong. Like everything.
Of course.
Like, I don't know. It was like everything I tried to do, like it didn't work. Or like technology didn't work. This didn't work. I tried to get here and I couldn't make it there. Like it was just like really annoying week.
Stuff, yeah.
And one of my sisters, like whenever I talked to her about stuff like that, she was like, well, it sounds like you're in like a spiritual warfare right now. And, you know, like all this stuff, like, you know, how long you been feeling like this? And I'm like, I've been feeling like this for a while. And it was really funny. And it's such a her thing to say. But it was actually messaging back and forth. And she said, and me and Gabriel had a conversation about it too. She was like, is there anybody that you're like holding on to like
a grudge
against, or like harboring some resentment against, or, you know, is there somebody that you need to forgive? Or, you know, she was like, you have to think about things like that when you're going through like these seasons where you feel like that. She was like, sometimes that's what it is. And I was like, oh, actually, yes, I'm a grudge holder. I admit it. I hold grudges.
Yeah.
But I really hadn't, I had said that I had forgiven, you know, people and different type of things, but I don't think I really had, you know, so I had to like have a moment with myself, like later on that weekend. And I was like having my morning coffee and everything, and just like had like a big old prayer, and just started I started making it a point in the mornings to like pray for those people and like say like I'm forgiving them, and actually say like I'm forgiving them, and I'm forgiving them for this, I'm forgiving them for this, and you know, just all this stuff is like coming out that you don't even know that you're like harboring there, like things you actually forgot about, like you're like thinking those things, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I just found it interesting the way that I felt afterwards. I felt like so much more like at ease and peaceful, and just like a weight was lifted. And I don't know if that's what that week was about, but for me, that week was like about that. So
you know, I started my third party coordinator for co-parenting, and we went back to the doctor that we had for our co-parenting class, and we had our first meeting, and she shoots you straight. I mean, she literally like, you know, she doesn't tell you what you want to hear. She tells you what you need to hear. And so like we kind of went through like all, you know, like not everything, but like what are the issues, and, you know, just come out in there. And she's like, well, Megan, like you need to grow. Like you're letting their actions and the things that they're doing, which are petty towards you, you need to grow, because you're letting them, you know, your peace is being, you're in control
letting
of
it affect you.
Right.
You're letting it disturb you.
Yeah. And I said, you're right. And she was like, you know, Darian played the video from over a year ago, but it was like where I'd called his fiance or whatever. I called her at work, and, you know, said she was screwing my husband.
Oh,
and it's not one of my finer days. But, you know, the doctor was like, you know, Megan, like you just wanted her to feel how you had been feeling. Like you were angry and you were upset. And I had to think like, she's right, you know, like, and she's like, what you need to know is like him stepping out on your marriage. It's not her fault. Like you don't know what he was telling her or what he has been telling her or how he's been manipulating her, even though you want to think like, okay, but she knew he was a married man. She knew like, and so, you know, he's in there going, I didn't cheat, you know, and then he's saying the timeline that they've been together, and he slipped up and he said they'd been together over 2.5 years. And I called him out, and I was like, well, we've only been separated like 2 years and some days, you know, it's not even, you know, it's just right over 2 years. And so, you know, it's clear that it overlapped. It's very clear whether they want to admit it or not. But it's like when you talk about forgiveness, which is what we're talking today, like I struggle, like I'm struggling to forgive, to like, everybody says like, oh, it's going to set you free. But I'm holding on to it.